Hello everyone, welcome to another video of the challenge series. In this video we are going to take a look at the problem statement confusing dates. This is a very interesting one. So let's first try to understand the problem statement here. Okay. So first of all it is saying that we have to generate a new date in US format. So basically MMDDYY by pressing the calendar button. So if I click on this, it is going to generate a value dynamically and I have to fetch this particular value. Okay, then use the TOSCA date functions to calculate the first of the second following month. So it wants me to go 2 months in future, and then it wants the date to be displayed as 01, first of the 2 months in future. Okay, now just to understand it better, they have given an example as well. So here you see this particular date is 12/24/2015, and since this is December plus 2, it is going to second month and then it is displaying this. So it is changing the format as well, from first of all from slash to hyphen, and then it is putting the year first and then the month and then the date. Okay, now we'll take a you can pause the video, try to think how you can work with this and try to solve this automation obstacle. If you're not, then try to see the video and then try to recreate it on your end. Okay, uh, let's do a challenge in which just mention in the comment section how much time it took for you to solve this automation problem. Now let's take a look at this. I'll quickly scan the module first. So I'll go to my modules and I'll right click, scan application, and let the scanner get loaded. Okay, we got it. I'll click on scan and we will capture the values which are required quickly. So we want to click on this and then we want to buffer this value, so we'll capture this. We want to put the value which we are generating on this, and then we have to click on this OK button. So we'll capture these 4 values. Okay, and maybe I'll write this as date and I'll save this. So TOSCA has inbuilt functions for date which provides lot of flexibility around changing the base dates, changing the formats, doing the offsets. So we'll take a look at all of these. So I'll just pull this into the test cases. How I'll be attempting to solve the problem is uh, I'll try to solve step by step and we'll see the challenges we come across, and I'll explain you each and every step on how to solve and what is the reasoning behind that. Okay, if you have a different solution, uh, do share your approach with us. So first step is I want to click on this and capture this value. So that is what we'll do first. So I'll just perform a click here and I will try to capture the value. So I can write anything, maybe we'll write it as date obstacle. Okay, action mode to buffer because we want to capture this value, and then I'll run this. So see, this value is getting generated dynamically and we have to use that particular value as a base date. So once we are able to successfully buffer this value, then we'll take a look at the next step. So see, 8/31/2025. Now our execution got finished. We'll see that is it actually capturing the value or not. So here we see 8/31/2025. So we are good with this. Okay, now the second step is we have to generate the value which is 2 months in future considering this particular date, as well as we have to take the first date of that particular month. Okay, so we all know that whenever we use date functions, we have to put curly brackets, date, 3 square brackets. Just in case you are not aware, I'll just quickly tell this thing, that the first square brackets is for setting up the base date. So if you do not set this up, it will take your system date as the base date. So here we want to work with this, so we'll define that particular value. And how we are going to do that, we'll pass that value as a buffer. That is what we are capturing in the step before that. So I'll put buffer and I'll put date obstacle here. Okay, and I will close this, and I will close the curly brackets. Okay, now if it is displaying in this particular way, so that means we have put it correctly. Okay, now the second section is for offsetting the value. So we want 2 months in future, so we'll put plus 2 capital M here. Okay, that's how TOSCA works. So we have to, for the month we have to put capital M, and then the format in which we want, that we have to mention here. So here we have taken a look at this, right? So this is first the year, and the the month, and then the date. So we'll put it accordingly here. Now I'll put y, and we want with a hyphen, so I'll put hyphen, and then I'll put double M for the month, and then I'll put double D here. Okay, now the requirement of putting the first date is not has been taken care still. Okay, so we'll take a look at that once. We'll try to see if this is working fine, then I'll explain you how to do that. Okay, and after putting the date, I have to just pass a click on the next slide. Okay, so obviously this is not going to solve your problem, but we are going to understand step by step how it works. Okay, now first, if I'll run this, you will notice that you will get an error, and we'll understand how to solve that particular error. Okay, so let it first generate the value, and we'll buffer that value, and we'll try to extract 2 months in future. Okay, so it has generated 8/11/2029, and we see that our script is failing before even putting the value there. Okay, now if I go to my scratchbook, here you will see this particular section, and let me a little bit zoom it. So you see the date cannot be interpreted as a date according to this particular format. Now why this is happening is because the month is double M while the value is single digit. DD, it should be able to fetch the value, but since is not working, that's why it is not able to interpret the date. Okay, now how we can handle this is, I'll close this, I'll go to my test configuration, and here I'll right click, and I'll create a test configuration parameter where you can search for TOSCA date format. Okay, now why we are doing that is because it is trying to look for the value double M, but it is finding only one value, so it is not able to understand if it is a month or not. Okay, now for it to understand it specifically, we have to type it out here. Now if you'll click on this drop down, you'll see a lot of different values, but just in case if that is not displayed, you can type it out as well. So I'll write 1M forward slash 1D forward slash YYYY. Now here you see that the value is coming 8/11. Now let's say the month is coming as 12, it can come 1/2 as well, right? So what will happen in those cases? So even if we are specifying in this particular format, it will be able to understand, but not the other way around. Okay, so that's why I've specifically called it out MD only. Okay, now if I run this, it should be able to interpret the date. That is the first issue we'll try to address, and then we'll take a look at how to put the correct month. Okay, correct date of the month, like 01. Okay, so let's first see if this is working, it is able to interpret the date or not. This is a very common problem, so I thought let's first cover that particular part so it makes the concepts clear. So see, it is able to read the date, and it is able to generate something as well. Now obviously this is not the right answer as per the obstacle. So here you see it's the month 8, and it has added 2, so 10 is coming, but we do not want 29, we want 01 here. Okay, so for that, what happens is, in case of TOSCA, there is a function called month first. Okay, now let me just quickly show you by what details or what does that syntax offer. So if I'll write month, you will see here that it is saying that it will display the first date of the current month. Okay, so sorry, I'll type it out first. So month first, so first day of the current month as a complete date. So whatever is your date, it is going to put 01 in the DD section. Okay, so how we can incorporate this is very easy. I'll go back to my date solution, and here I'll just change, I'll remove date from here, and I'll put month first, month first, and I'll again perform a click here, and now if I'll run, it should be able to put 01 here. Now let's see that in action. Is it actually working or not? So TOSCA date function is going to be a little tricky, but once you go through all the concepts of TOSCA date functions, it is going to become very easy, because how you set up the base format, how the value is getting generated and things like that. Okay, so see, our automation problem is solved. In case you have difficulty or you are not aware about much details around the dates, I have another dedicated video on dates in which I have covered all the aspects of the dates, right from how to manipulate even special dates consideration. So I'll put that link in the description so you can check out that video as well. That solves our automation problem, and in the next video we'll take a look at another automation problem. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.